Hey guys, my name is Jonathan Lung, and this series of vlogs is going to be about my time at the internship as an intern. Kind of stating the obvious, I guess, and what I basically learned from the experience. I'm hoping this series becomes more helpful for other people, but mainly this project is designed for me to check on my progress and see what I've learned and what mistakes I've made, and hopefully I don't make them in the future. It's a progress check for myself. Even from the video standpoint, I want to see mistakes that I've made. I want to see where I can improve on and what I've already mastered, I would say. So I can know exactly what to work on instead of wasting time and trying to fix everything. I think there was just a fly that just came out. Wow, this camera's really good. Anyway, sorry, get off top. So, we're going to start off basically talking about my first week. And before I go any further, I'm going to lay some groundworks about how my video is going to work. So I'm going to try to release these videos every 3 to 4 days. About a week is around the time that I'm probably going to get most of these out. Working on these and trying to see, compile some notes and give myself some time to reflect before I make these videos. And I want to try to release these videos every Friday or Saturday. However, this is since this is a new project for me, and I just kind of thought about this recently, I'm going to probably be releasing several videos by this weekend, including this one as the introductory video. And as for my first weekend, then there will be other weeks that I've already and that I will make videos on covering from the previous weeks. I'm already about my third week into the internship, third to fourth week. I have to check on my calendar to double check on that. So I want to make a video for every week. So as many videos as you'll see is how many videos I'll be releasing. And the purpose of these videos is to see how I do on camera and the progress I've made. But I think it's a good beneficial thing, even just for a short period of time, to fix the immediate mistakes and see what I can improve on immediately. But then over time, for the next week and for the week afterwards, I can see things that I am improving on or am I still lacking on. So that's something I want to do instead of, it's also I want to record everything I've done. So it's kind of like one stone, two bird kind of thing. Yeah, so I'm already probably making some mistake. Whoever is professional is already looking at it. But it's okay. I'm here to learn, and that's the purpose of this video. Now, hopefully, I hope many other people will be watching this video can also take away from this vlog as, things they can learn, things they can see from my mistakes, and things that I have done well on. And hopefully they can gather all these information and they can become even more successful than I will ever become. Or, to that extent. Any help, honestly, is so beneficial. It's helping people is one of the greatest things we can do for each other. And this is what I want this video to be, to help others and to help myself. So, let's get started. So, the first week of internship, I started the week basically learning a lot about different things basic structures of different companies and very, very fundamental things. One thing that I've learned was, is the business contract. Business contracts, yeah, I know what a contract is, but I did not know how much detail a business contract is. For those who don't know what a business contract is, it's basically an employee-employee contract, which is another name for it, employer-employee contract, that is designed to lay the groundwork for the employee and for the employer about different agreements they both made, such as compensation, such as vacation, hours of work, where they're working at, what will happen during termination, probation period, and honestly, there were a couple of new things that I didn't even realize, such as the probation period. I didn't realize that there were such thing as that exists. For those who don't know, the way I understand it is that time, that critical time period when you first join a company and they really evaluate your progress. You're new to the job, you really don't know what you're doing, and you really don't know how the system works. Well, that's the time they can kind of judge on your character, they can judge on your work skills and stuff, a lot of things like that. And if you happen to mess up in those time period, well, they need, depending how they decide, they can either terminate you or keep you. And that's just anywhere, not even after the probation period. Just, yeah. There was a lot about, health issues. There was a lot of disclosure. There was even some, so I found most of these business contracts online, free templates of it. Not, obviously, every company is going to be different. So I can't cover everything, but the general outline are all basically the same. Everyone's going to have compensation. Everyone's going to have vacation on their contract and allow them to, understand. Or, even if you don't have vacation, but at least they can double let you know. There's different sections of it. And it protects the employee and the employer. So it's really a all-around beneficial thing. You can go online, search up free business contract templates or business contract templates, whatever, and you can see all the different types out there, and it's really, really beneficial to look at them. In fact, I like to look at them once in a while, just even for myself, that I created one for my internship, just because it was really beneficial to see how how companies really manage their employees and what they really put down, and they're very, very clear. It's something that you have to read all the way through. You cannot skip anything. At least I don't recommend. Unless you've been part of the situation, been in business for a long, long, long periods of time, you probably know. But it is really, really, really interesting to read. But not only is it interesting, it's a very important thing to do. It's a skill that even when you buy stuff, you need to make sure you read all the fine details, understand what the regulations are and what they really expect out of you. Now, another thing we've been working on is a timesheet. The timesheet is basically where you keep track about what you work on throughout the day/week, where your hours, minutes, even seconds are put onto, what projects you've been working on, what clients you deal with. One example I can give is a consultant. A consultant usually goes out, helps somebody, depending on how many clients they have, they can, they'll put that on the timesheet and they'll list where they spent most of their time, or where they spent their time, I should say, working at. And, companies they need to see that in order to pay their workers, especially consultants. So a lot of time your managements, anytime your supervisors or whoever's higher up on the chain of command, they would like to look at it and they'll compensate you accordingly. If you don't happen to do your work, well, they can look at it and they can make their judgment accordingly. So that's something, a timesheet is really helpful. In fact, it actually helped me a lot more than just from business standpoint. It actually helps me realize where my day goes. I'm very much guilty of going through a whole day, not knowing what I did, and the day is gone. It's like, I felt like I didn't do any work. What did I do? Did I spend too much time on watching videos? Did I, from both a business standpoint and from a personal standpoint. Now, business, sometimes I like to know where I spent my time. If I spent too much time working on a PowerPoint, or I spent too much time researching instead of actually working on something more, something else that's more important at the time, it can allow me to see where I'm slacking or I'm compensating on. Therefore, I can set my priorities straight. It allows me to be more organized. Even in my personal life, I can see where I spent most of my time. How much time am I eating? How much am I relaxing? How much even playing video games? Whatever it could be. And it really does help. It really does. I'm not an organizer, or at least I used to not be an organizer. I don't usually keep up time, and so time just kind of slips from me. This doesn't allow me to slip time. Excuse me. This doesn't allow me to waste time. It really does help manage like life. It's very, very cool thing to do. It's like amazing. I mean, yeah, there's people out there that have started from day one with an organizer, but I really did see a very beneficial thing out of this, and I'm glad I did it. I spent my time tracking down. I usually take a day. At the end of the day, I would reflect how much time did I do, everything, and I can't be down to the exact minutes or seconds, but I give them a good rough estimate. Obviously, no, I don't. No, I never over exaggerate because that's terrible. That's lying. But I do give them a good rough estimate about how much time I'm working. Sometimes I keep an eye on my phone, start on the start time and then end time, and then that's give me a good range about how much time I've worked on it. So that's something I like a lot about the timesheet. And I will say the biggest thing I took away from my first week was it sounds kind of very basic, very fundamental, but not showing up late. When your manager, your boss, someone, or even your coworker, not even that, anyone asking you to come at it on time, at a certain time, you need to be there. And that's something, if anything, that I want to remind myself and inform others just to keep stressing about being on time. You know what? People don't mind if you show up early. Yeah, don't show up a day early. I mean, there are some aspects of it, but 5 minutes early, 10 minutes early, get yourself there. It allows you to calm your nerves. You sit down, breathe, relax, understand your environment, understand who you're dealing with, and even you allow yourself some leeway for when you meet your whoever you're meeting. If they were there early, you can if it's for a business thing, you can kind of chit chat, kind of break the ice, and then right on the time period where you think the meeting was supposed to start, you can just start right on to business instead of being late and not knowing what's going on. And time is people's most valuable currency. Not really a currency. It's their most valuable possession, time. Time is something we can't get back. I can't grab myself when I was 6 years old. I don't have a time machine. But what I can do is I can utilize the time that I have. Like right now, I'm utilizing this time to make this video for my self-reflection. And it's beneficial. You have to know where you spend your time. You can't waste people's time. You have to respect people. Because if they're willing to give you the time to meet with you, to talk to you, you are that important to that person at that very moment. Because time is not something we can get. I can get money. I can get cars. I can grab anything I want. I can have a Rolex watch, or I can have the newest PlayStation 4, or I can have the newest Audi, or I can have knockoff brands of every one of them. Doesn't matter. If a tornado hits right now, hits my house. If a tornado hits my house, I will not be super sad. Unless, obviously, my family. I know, I'll be sad, yeah, obviously. But everything can be replaced. Everything can be replaced, but time. Time is the most essential thing. And I sound like a broken recorder. I know I sound like a broken recorder. But that's how important this thing is. And I did not show up on time. And that's why I'm saying this. I didn't show up my first time. I didn't know what I was doing. I completely didn't realize the time. I miscalculated how to get there. The traffic was holding me up. You know what? Excuses. I didn't do it. I didn't do my job. I didn't give him a good first impression. Now I'm hoping now that my impression of myself is a lot better. I'm working a lot harder, making sure I'm doing a lot. I'm very honest. I'm very open, and I'm a very hard worker. And that's what I'm trying to at least win their trust back. Because when you waste people's time, you lose their respect, you lose their trust. Things that you never want to lose. And that's very hard to get. It's very hard to get. And I can't say that I got it right away, but at least the first impression knocked off, that scale of trustworthiness or that respect or the dependability. That's not good for the business world. The business is a cruel world because it's it's competitive, laissez-faire. If you know anything about economics, it's very, very competitive. But in order to survive, you need to have, the people's trust. You need to be dependable. You need to be very responsible. And you need to be very respectful. Be respected. People give you respect for being dependable, being kind, I guess. That's one thing. But being dependable, there's a fly. Being dependable, being trustworthy, being responsible are some of the most key things to have. And if you can't get those things right away or maintain them, your chances of surviving the business world or anything or any jobs really is very, very slim. It's bad. It's not a good trait to not have. You need to have it. And it's something I remind myself every day. Even from my own personal life, I start very small, something with even my parents, and I make my mistakes. But I do realize them, and I'm making steps to correct them. The first steps to solving a problem is to recognize the problem. But then you have to do something about it. And this video, I only worked for about 3 days on that first, really 2 days on that first week. So I really didn't learn super much. So this video, I always had a little bit more content. But this is my introductory video. So I really want to give you guys a good understanding of what's going on. And hopefully in the next few videos, you will learn a little bit more about what's going on, about what I'm learning. And maybe you guys can get some insight about that too. This video almost became a little bit more philosophical at the end. But that is something I will keep stressing until the end of this series. And if I make any more series afterwards, time is the most valuable thing that we could ever possess. Don't waste someone's most valuable possession. Don't waste it. So, anyways, thanks again, guys. I hope you guys like this video. I hope I like this video. I think I can already see there's a bunch of little things I gotta work on. But this is a test run, and I want to be the most honest version of myself. I don't want to filter this video to something that's not me. I want to be the most honest version, but I want to be at the end of the video, my most honest presentation is the best presentation I can give. Not something I need to change or filter or do whatever I need to change it. So that's a goal of mine. By the end of this series, I hope to be a much more professional talker on this professional vlogger, I would say. Making mistakes, and whatnot. And this is a good video. I'm proud. This is the first vlog of mine, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, I will be releasing another video around the end of this week. I'm working on several scripts right now. In fact, it's more of like a self-reflecting journal. So that's what I'm going to basically be doing right now. I'm taking some notes, making sure I remember what I've done. And hopefully, if I can get my skills better, I will probably show you guys some things that I've done. Some links of videos that I've watched, things that I think people should learn. Or things that I learned or watched that I think others should benefit from watching. So, yeah. Anyway, thanks again, guys. This is the third time, so definitely got to work on that. So, but hey, that's what practice is for, right? So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Hope to see you guys at the end of this week. Bye.